What's happening? What's up? What's good and what it do? I am Dr. Elegant Soul Food, the consecrated nature baby. And this is the series where I have the pleasure of flexing my auntie vibes. Um, Aunts are a combination of a confidant, a sister, and a mother rolled into one. The archetype of a auntie is care and guidance, trustworthy, insightful, tough love, and steady for your heart, right? As we cross into this bridge together, nieces and nephews, my light, may I light your flame and set your path to you one day being an aunt or an uncle to your blood, your spiritual tribe, and wherever your feet and hands touch and fly. Ashe. I have the pleasure of having my niece, the one that likes to pick my brains. They all like to pick my brains, but this one, I have to stay sober for this one. Miss T Chanel is on the line, and I did pull some energy while we were shuffling and getting ready to go. There she is. Hi, boo boo.
Hi.
So the first card that came out was Live for Love. Today I put love into everything I do. It is love that gives. The volume is loud. I get some feedback. Is that your volume?
Is that better now?
Let me see. That's better.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Live for love. Today I put love into everything I do. It is love that gives life to all things, and I open my heart to this great power. I act gently and speak with kindness. I fill each thought with love and light. I love God and all beings everywhere. I live for love. I love myself. And the next one, what came after that one? This new chapter in your life is going to require a new way of seeing things and a new way of seeing yourself. You can't continue to see and interpret things with the same understanding that you have had until now. No matter what you face or how you feel, see it all from a higher perspective. On the law line for now is, how can I infuse more self love and compassion into my daily life? If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. And that's a quote from Buddha. And today's soul action is choose one self care action to do today. Set stronger boundaries, meditate and listen to your heart, speak to yourself with compassion, focus on your strengths, say no to something that isn't a soul yes, say yes to something you are afraid of, let go of something you cannot control, stay far away from trauma and negativity, ask for help and allow it, write down three things you're grateful for. So that was that. Now, here's the other test. You didn't know what's going to happen. I was sending you information while you was getting ready to come join me on here. What can I do to make a difference? So I was sending you a message. See you on your phone now. I was sending you
I'm
a
sorry, I was
message.
looking at my questions. Go ahead.
I was sending you a message, and I'm gonna see if you got it.
Okay.
Close your eyes and think of a color. And when you're ready, say that color out loud.
Green.
You didn't take a second.
I don't need one.
Okay, well, that's not the message that I sent you, but you know what I said? I said, watch you get my fingernail polish.
Oh, okay. Close enough. It was green or blue. At first I seen blue and then I seen green, so.
When I was cleaning a candle for intentions and I picked a candle to set for our intentions, I was sending you the color of the candle, which is orange. And I kept on saying, why she gonna say with the color of my nail polish? Why? Okay. So I set the intentions, talking about, being an aunt and the pleasure it is of being an aunt. You get to be that fun person or that harsh person, or you get to be that loving person. That's the person you call, for bail money. That's the
Yeah.
person you call to keep secrets. And then
Hmm.
the person for tough love. Sometimes it's like, I know it's tight, but it's right.
Absolutely.
So as we start to get into this, before we get into the question that you have, Lord knows where this Capricorn is going to go. Um,
Mhm.
can you just talk a little bit how we got on getting here with Ask Aunt Boogie? Because you always like call me and text me, be like, "You got a minute? Can I ask you a question? I got something for you."
Mhm.
Just talk about that journey from your perspective. This is the first time I've ever asked you this.
Yeah.
Like, where your comfort zone came from.
Well, initially, I know I had a conversation with you, and just the background, our family's always been, I don't want to use the word judgmental, I don't want to be negative, but they kind of come from a standpoint of not super realistic sometimes. It's just kind of like giving feedback that will make you think on a higher level, which I appreciate. But sometimes you just need to hear the real and the raw and the, I've been through this, so, I'm going to tell you this because I've been through this and we both human. And you've always been very neutral and transparent with giving the advice, not some advice that you can find on Google, but the advice from where you came from and what you've seen and what you endured. And because you have such an insightful mind, and you also have another side of you that's just real, you just gonna say what you mean and mean what you say. That combination is always seems to be what I needed to hear at the moment that you said it. And then at the end, you'll just laugh and sip your wine and be like, but hey, I mean, we all human, and that's what we need as people. I mean, you've actually even inspired me to be like that more with Carter, because I realized I was taking that generational push, and just when he would ask me something or come to me about something, I would be so like studious about it, and I'll probably just make him feel like, dang, okay, like, anything that I was thinking was probably wrong. And it's just because of, how I was raised and how things went. And you showing me like, why, if I love this person and I've lived life, why don't I just tell them what I would do, what I've been through, the real, the true, and whatever. And you helped me have a comfortability with you to be able to call you and say that. And over time I was like, you know what, I'm gonna call my Aunt Boogie. Like, if I don't ask somebody, I'm gonna ask my Aunt Boogie, because she gonna tell me the real, but she not gonna make me feel low about what I'm going through, because she know life is life and she's been through, the same, if not worse. So,
Damn, worse.
I mean, right. As soon as I said that, I was like, oh, can I thought of
Well,
another word? But yeah, something
but
along that
he,
line. I just feel like that.
depending on the topic, it could be.
It
But
could be, yeah. It just
here's the
depends.
here's the thing, and this is why I talk about passing the baton to you all. I had the best aunts and uncles on the planet. My
Yeah.
Aunt Lynn, my Uncle Tim, my Aunt Barita, my Aunt Jeanette, my Aunt Geneva, my Aunt Jessime, my Aunt Ida. Honey, when I tell you,
Mhm.
I wasn't ready for it. When they gave it to me, I wasn't even ready. Uncle Johnny, I wasn't ready for it. I just be looking like, so
Yeah,
I'm passing the baton to you guys, and keeping true to the tradition of those that have come before us, that have transcended.
for sure.
Then that's the way they gave it to me. And sometimes it would be hilarious, and sometimes I'd be like, well, damn, is
Right.
that what you
Oh
thought?
yeah. Oh
Well,
yeah. Definitely. I believe it. I notice
so
when I ask you a question, if I ask you and you give it to me and we get in the middle of a conversation, we're on the same page. But if I keep like, why? But wait a minute, yada, yada, I'll get to a certain point and you just be like, listen, I'm not gonna simplify this no more. This is where we at, and this is where we need to go. And that does remind me of our lineage. That's really kind of how we get down with it. So I think that's it's great to talk to you in that aspect. It's not made up. It's not just saying something to make me feel lower than you in the moment. It's a conversation and it feels good. And I appreciate you being that. And I'm glad you had that growing up, because I didn't. But
and I'll get off the hook. I'll be like, life gonna have to teach you the rest. Just remember what
for
I
sure.
said, write it down.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. You'll give me one key phrase, and all night I'll be like, "What does she mean by that? Wait a minute, what does she mean by that?" So definitely, that works. Though that works. I appreciate that.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's do this question. I got my water in a mason jar, and I
Okay.
got me some coconut water.
Okay.
I might be too sober for this shit, but we gonna
Right.
find out
We're gonna try.
what you got for A Boogie tonight.
Okay, so this was gonna be initially my last question or a question that I asked at a later time, but I think it should be the first one because I feel like what's going on in today's time, not like politically, but just like in the energy, I feel like this is a very prominent topic right now, and so I just want to, even though it's like something people talk about all the time, I do want to see your perception on it because of how you think. So my first question would be, what is your ideal standard and understanding of karma?
Ah, you know, I funny you should ask that. I think when I post this video, I'm gonna put my links in there. I've done like 8 videos on karma. It's like 12 different laws of karma. The
Okay.
lazy one,
Mm-hmm.
the lazy one is um everything that goes around comes around. That's not even scratching the surface of karma
Yeah.
because you can love your way out of any circumstance. The deeper and the more compassionate and loving that you are with yourself and with other people, you'll change your karmic debt.
Hmm.
So it's not just one law of karma. There are probably at least 17 different laws of
Oh wow.
karma. And the videos that I did was addressing probably nine, not
Okay.
seven or nine of the different laws of karma. I knew you was gonna ask me something require me to get my notes. So let me think.
Okay, so you can love your way out of your karmic debt. Okay, that's new. I didn't know
Yes.
that.
It's different types of my room is a total disarray. I'm gonna have to like well hell, hold on. Let me look at my own notes. Hold up. Because I don't want to misquote anything. So yeah, that's the cheap and easy one with do unto others and what you do is gonna come back at you and pay. You know, a lot of people don't grow past that point, and that's all they know. And so it just
Right.
becomes a slogan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, especially the judgmental people. They love to use that like that don't apply to them as well. But it's
Oh
deeper than
yeah.
that. It's deeper than that. So give me some grace and give me a moment. I don't think none of them was live. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. I'm definitely have to post those links in here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think I seen that you did a video on it.
So one is like the karma of growth and expansion. I wish they was all together. Um, Karma and the law of connection. I just wish I had my notes for it. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Karma and cause and effect. I want to say that's like the most that's the one that I was just talking about. And then is karma and repeating lessons.
Mm.
Some people just cannot learn that lesson, and that's their karma to keep repeating that same
Over and
lesson
over
over
again.
and over again. And then it's the karma agreement and soul contracts. Like I had a soul contract before I came here to have the parents that I have and to use my biological parents as a vessel. And so my karmic agreement was to be the baby that my real parents lost before I came. They had lost a baby and I came back as their baby. That was my karmic agreement to get back to them.
Oh really?
Yes, ma'am.
So you mean you mean
Without
gender
saying
neutral?
names. Yeah,
Yeah.
without saying names.
Yeah.
For me to get to my real parents,
Right.
for me to get
Oh,
to my
okay.
real
Got you.
parents,
Gotcha.
I had a karmic agreement and was use my biological parents to
Ah,
get back
to your real parents.
to my real parents who I had a karmic agreement with, that had a
I believe it.
soul contract with. So does that help it? You broaden the understanding of
For
what
sure.
karma is?
For sure.
And
Hmm.
karma is not human. A lot of people like to humanize karma just like they like to humanize God. Is whatever they want to be on a soapbox about. So then they'll say, "Oh, this is karma because this is what I like and what I agree to." So
Right.
yeah, the elements are much more deeper. And you could study karma for years because it's much deeper than what people like to think it is, thinking on the surface level.
Right. Right.
So what I will do is I will make time and go in and put the links to that in this video so you can draw reference to them and refer back to them when you get some time. And if you have some more questions after that, we can chop it up.
Definitely.
Does that help?
It does. It really does. I knew it wasn't a surface level thing. I feel like with whatever's going on in the ethers is that I keep hearing it in different ways on different reasons. I walk past the TV and hear it. I'll hear it at work. Like, I think something about what's going on right now is trying to not like magnifying karma in a certain way to help people and reach people in some type of, way, just from what I'm seeing right now in life. So I was like, I really do want to ask her. But what you said about your parents is actually, like you said, is putting two and two together of what I already kind of was thinking that karma had going on, if that makes any sense. Because I mean, what goes around comes around was the only sense that I've ever heard about karma. I've never known that it was like 7 to 9, 12 different laws of it and all. Yeah, I had no idea of that. So now I got to get down into that.
Yes, because a lot of people stop growing. A lot of people stop growing. It's a lot of 70-year-old 7-year-olds. It's a lot of 70-year-old 16-year-olds. They just don't develop that far. And a part of it is the way spirituality was introduced to us. It was introduced to us in a way to pause us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in addition to that, those of us that have hoodoo, voodoo, and voodoo in our bloodline, that be
Mm-hmm.
us,
Mm-hmm.
hid it in Christianity because that was something they could say out loud. People
Right.
practice hoodoo, voodoo
Right.
every day, and they don't even think about it. America practices
Right. For
voodoo
sure.
and doesn't even acknowledge it. The fact that you can go to church and have the body and blood of Jesus Christ, but then you look at me like I'm fucked up because
Right.
I'm
Right.
doing, you know, ancestor veneration, but I'm not using nobody's blood. But if
Exactly.
somebody does a blood ritual, a blood sacrifice, or some type of work with blood, you want to look at them like they're weird, but then you'll go break the body and blood of Jesus Christ.
That is true.
And it's not even your blood lineage.
Exactly.
So you're doing like
Exactly.
witchcraft on yourself, but nobody wants to talk about that.
They don't even know.
I'm gonna let you
So
go.
let me ask you just you don't have to go too deep into it because I know we're doing one at a time. But what do you think? Just a small sample. I know this is like a broad question that can go on and on for the answer, but what do you think keeps you growing? You say some people never grow, or they stunt their growth, or 7-year-old 70s and all that. What do you think is healthy things to do in life to keep going, keep elevating, keep living and live? I know people go fall off, habits and
One of the questions you asked me about karma, and one of the ones, the karma of repeating lessons,
mm,
some people don't have the capacity to learn from their mistakes. And they keep repeating every day is like Groundhog Day to them. And to them, they think they're having a new experience. Can you dig it?
yeah, well, that's true.
Every day is like Groundhog Day. And
And
they
you think
think
that comes
they're
from their
having a new
trauma?
experience. I think it could be a bunch of reasons. I don't think it's just one thing. I
Okay.
think it really varies.
Okay.
Honestly, it has to vary because everybody is just as unique as their fingerprint.
That's true.
And what's sad is just like a lot of that is handed down, and people get stuck in being comfortable. You know,
Right.
that's another thing. The Western civilization and colonization in
Mm,
general
right.
worked very hard to keep us stuck.
For sure. I noticed that when people are stuck and then the universe puts something in their path where it kind of shakes their world up and shows them a whole new world, it's hard for them to go back and be stuck comfortably. Like, if you've been in a situation for your entire life and then all of a sudden you meet this person and have a whole nother experience with them just off of how they change and how they shift, and you and that person probably, sever ties or separate or stop being friends. I've noticed when they've gone back to trying to just live in that comfortability they were before because they're not experiencing that person and their, change anymore. They can't quite get comfortable. It's like something is always itching at them. And I think that may be a little bit of a way that the universe tries to get you to make these changes.
Now, I
Think
think we're
so?
talking about two different things here. Now,
Okay.
are we talking about some type of soul tie? Is this for the positive or is this
For the
the
positive,
worse?
and it doesn't have to be a soul tie. It could be I go off to another job, like they put me in a job in Indiana, just out the blue. I'm working for this job. I've been at the work job for 20 years. I go work for the same company out in Indiana, and when I get down there, everything is like different. I'm working for the same job, but I'm meeting different people. I'm having a different experience. I'm in a whole different town, and they end up sending me back home. I think if I had always been, every day is Groundhog Day, and then I end up getting into a situation where I'm seeing a different experience, I do believe coming back to what I was comfortable with won't be as comfortable anymore, or it will be some type of newfound light or fire within me that will make me want to have more, do more, look at things different. And I mean, I don't know. That's kind of how the universe has woke me up. They'll just put me in these wonky situations, and it just be out the blue, and then I'll be like, I was sitting stuck and stagnant, but I would have never known that I was just looking at a gray wall if I wouldn't have gone seen colors off else somewhere.
But you're talking about somebody that already has the capacity,
Oh, okay, so
the
it's different then.
capacity to
Okay,
evolve, and somebody
okay.
that embraces change or even wants to change or looking for change or
Oh,
even notices something new.
right. Some
I'm
people don't.
sure you can name some people
That
that no
don't.
matter where you put them, they've been doing the same thing
That's true.
decade after decade after decade after decade after
That
decade
is
after
true. I didn't see
decade.
that. See, my brain. See, that's what I'm saying. Like and that's what I want to. That's what I told myself. 2025. I want to start looking at things from more than just how I see it, because I didn't even think about that till you just said it. It is some people that won't even embark on that journey.
Yes, you're already on the path. You've already had that spark in your soul, that spark in your mind, that spark in your spirit that was just like, man, it's got to be something different than this.
Right.
If at any one point you could have been 8 years old and been like, it's got to be something different than
No,
this.
really.
That was
Seriously.
it.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
it. That was your predestined
Yeah.
calling to
For
say
sure.
you just got to keep going because you're gonna get there.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay.
Yeah, some people they just
They don't think like that. And I think it's so sad when someone that has that in their spirit accidentally becomes distracted or bounded to someone that does not, and you've just wasted a whole lot of time and energy staying in one spot.
yeah. Um yeah, that's why I think hobbies are important. I think a lot of times I'm talking about specifically about marriages, people will enmesh themselves into the other person so much so that they lose themselves. And when they start like coming out of the spell, they
Yeah.
realize they're miserable.
Yep.
They're married and they're miserable and they're
Yep.
stuck. And then they want to keep their vows, they want to keep their family intact, but they're
Mhm.
lonely and they laying in the bed with somebody or looking at somebody
Yep.
every day, and their soul is just hungry and thirsty for something so much different. And
Yep.
then they start to self-medicate in a lot of different ways, whether they immerse themselves in a religion and they become fanatical,
Yeah.
They immerse themselves in alcohol or food or shopping or travel. It's like something. They're all
Right.
they like
To get
bite grip
excited.
onto that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And they're
I've
just
seen that.
but you've heard it said like in the old 70s, they'd be like the ball and chain. It's a ball and
For
chain.
sure. Yep.
The
Just
ball and
dragging. Just dragging. Yep.
Mhm.
That is true.
So we have time for one more question.
Okay. So I guess another question I wanted to know. So, do you think that there is a perfect person that is designed for your uh, soul mission? Like, do you think there's one person, and it doesn't even have to be biblically, like just a husband, but do you think there is one person that you are going to meet with on a romantic level that is just made for you? And also, after asking that question, do you believe that people can waste so much time that they could die out in this mission and miss that?
Mm. Lord have mercy.
Where's the wine?
Oh, this is a date night question. I'm trying to do
Date
date
night
night.
question.
I
And
do
the
date
reason I
night.
ask is because, like, with what I'm, and everything's a distraction. And then, when you're going through adversity and a rough patch or whatever they want to call it, you do cling on to that religion when that's all you know. So the first thing you think about when you come out of something hard is, I need to get in the gym. I need to find me a husband. I needed this, that, and the third. But I like to get to the nitty gritty and understand, is that even something that I need to be focusing towards? Is that a thing? Like, is this, I mean, what's really going on, Aunt Boogie? Let me know.
Let's pause here because this is a date night question. So I am going to end this video and say thank you so much for your time. And we're gonna pick that up on our date night video because that is a great question. So
Okay.
thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. And again, I'm Dr. Elegant Soul Food. My special guest is my niece, and we were chopping it up for Aunt Boogie's. This is our Sundays video where we go ask Aunt Boogie on Sundays. So thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a fantastic week. One love, and until real soon.